Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today is part 9 of my Account Balances series. If you haven't watched parts 1 through 8, go watch those first. You'll find links down below you can click on. Today we're going to learn how to select all of the text in a field automatically whenever the user clicks on that field. This way you don't have to manually select the text inside the field if you want to change it. Similar to how Excel behaves when you click on a cell. Right? This is one of my pet peeves. Whenever I want to update my balance, let's say I want to update the balance of my savings account, right? If you click here, it puts the cursor in the middle. And then you got to click again and do that. Or you got to click in front of it and then hit tab. So what I want to happen is, here's my other copy. What I want to happen is when I click on a field, it just selects that whole field. See? Click, click, click. Just like Excel. Then I can just type over it, right? That's what I want, how I want it to behave. All right, that's what we're going to do today. And I can't talk today. All right, first off, a program note. I did a little resizing again. I know in the last video I did some resizing, and I resized again. It's one of those things where whenever I'm using a database myself, right, off camera, I sometimes make some little tweaks. I always try to mention them to you, though. But, like, I needed to make this just a little bit bigger, so I made this form a little bit bigger. But my database window still snaps to the spot where I record on my screen, so it made, yeah, so that happened. So I had to make this just a little bit bigger for my purposes. I did a little bit of label resizing and formatting and justifying and all that, just some prettying up stuff. All right, one thing I do want to do is I do want to lock a few fields here, like this and this, because I've accidentally done that a couple times while I'm working, and I don't want the user to change the account or the type from this screen. If you want to change it, open up this thing and you can change it in here if you want to. Okay, but I'm going to lock those fields here. Now we can't set allow edits to no because then you can't edit anything on this form. So I'm going to just select that, go to data, go to locked and set it to yes. That way the user cannot change those fields. All right, click here, nothing happens. If you click here, nothing happens. All right, want to change this intentionally, open the account, change it in here, and then close it. Again, just a minor little thing. All right, now going back to Excel for a minute, whenever I'm updating my balances in Excel, it's really easy to come in here and just click on a cell and type in 2000, right? That's great. That's how I want my database to behave, but Access doesn't behave that way. All right, if you click here and you want to type it in, you're in front of it. So you have to click and drag like that in order to change it, right? Or like I said, you can click in front of it and hit tab. It's just annoying. I want to be able to click there and just type a value in. Okay, so it's going to involve just a couple of lines of code, but you got to know where to put them. What we're essentially going to do is we're going to use the OnClick event. Now you might be thinking to yourself, use the onGotFocus event. OnGotFocus happens when you move into a, let's call it cell. It's a field, but okay, everyone thinks cell. But unfortunately, OnGotFocus technically happens before the click itself is registered. Okay, so I've tried this in the OnGotFocus event, and if you click, it does select all the text, but then it puts the cursor back where you clicked. So we have to use the OnClick event that happens after you click. Now, I'm not worried about the OnGotFocus event, because if you tab into that field, it selects all the text automatically anyways. So what I really want is the click event, not the GotFocus event. I looked this up online, as I always do. I always do a little Google search before I show you guys something in case I pick up a tip or two that I didn't know. And I saw it on 2 or 3 message forums why people can't understand why the OnGotFocus event isn't working. Well, that's why. OnGotFocus fires before the click event. And so you get your OnGotFocus, it selects the text, then the click happens, and it puts the cursor back where it wasn't supposed to be. And that's not what you want. So, okay, here's how we do it. Let's focus on the credit field first, then we'll do the other ones. All right, so design view, credit, event, OnClick is right there. All right, let me slide this over a bit. Okay, come in here. Now, the first thing I want to do is check to see if that field is null. It should never happen because we have another event that fires that says if they blank that, if they make it null, to put a 0 in there. But just in case, we don't want our database throwing errors. So if is null, credit, then exit sub. Okay, easy enough. Now we're going to use the cell start and cell length properties to set how much of the text is selected. Okay, so credit dot cell start equals 0. That puts the start of the cursor before the first character. And now we want to use the length of what's in that field now to set the cell length. All right, so credit dot cell length equals the length of credit. So if there's 1 character in there, you get 1. If there's 5 characters in there, you get 5. Okay, save it. Back over here, let's close it. Open it up again, and let's click here. Boom, look at that. Click here. Boom, look at that. It started at 0 and selected 3. Click. Okay. Now, what happens if we click down here? Doesn't work. It only selected 4 characters. Why? Well, because the actual value of that field is 1800, right? So it's not including the formatting. It's not including that comma. Now, how do we do that? Well, there's the value of the field, and then there's the text in the field. What we really want is the length of the text in that field, and that will include the formatting. So go back to your code and make this credit.text. I want the text that's actually in that text box. All right, save it, and now click out here. Click, click, click. Look at that. It selects everything in there. Click. All right, see how that works? Nice and easy, right? What do we got? 3 lines of code. Really 2. This is just to check to see if it's null, which it should never be. But that's 2 lines of code. Now you see what I mean when I say just learn a little teeny tiny bit of programming and you can make your databases so much better. Now, we got to do this for every field we want that to happen in. Credit, balance, pending, maybe date. All right, maybe this guy over here. All right. Do I want to copy and repeat this code everywhere? No. No, I don't want to do that. I want to make a function to do that, or a global subroutine, right? Somewhere I can just say select all text. Okay. Furthermore, I want to be able to use this on any form with any field. So we're going to make it global, put it in a global module. Now, this is the kind of thing that I normally show in my extended cuts for the members. So I'm giving you a bonus today to try to entice you to become a member. So you see the cool stuff that I put in those videos and in my full courses, right? Usually in the free Tech Help video, I give you just enough to get the job done. But for the members, you get a lot more. And don't worry, members, you're getting more today too in an actual extended cut. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Let's cut this out. All right, we'll start by making this a private sub here in this form. It's easy to do that first and to think global, but think that's eventually we're going to make this global. So let's call this private sub select all text. Okay, I'm going to paste that code in here. And credit click, all you got to do is say select all text. All right, so when this event runs, it's just going to call this sub. Then other fields can call that same sub. Okay, now, I don't know at this point what control I'm in, what field I'm in, right? So we need to get that. So we're going to say dim C as control. A control can be a text box, a combo box, any control on this form, a subform, a button, all that stuff. We're dimming a control. Okay, and now I'm going to say set C equals screen.activeControl. What does that mean? Well, take the active control, meaning the control that you're actually in, right, where the focus is on the screen, and set our variable C equal to that. You have to use the set keyword anytime you use an object, and it controls an object. And what I like to do when I'm done with my variables that require set, at the very bottom, I say set C equals nothing, so it clears that memory. Okay? Now, here, I'm going to check for the value of that control. So I need to say if is null C.value. Now, value, for some reason, isn't in the IntelliSense dropdown, but it works. Trust me. Note to access team. Why is value not in here? It does not have that. No, put that in there, please. Someone needs to go through all my videos and make a list of every time I say note to access team. Get some AI doing that. I was keeping a list for a while, and I was putting it because Microsoft has a spot where you can make suggestions, but they don't listen to me. I love you, Access team, but I got a list. You guys are busy enough, I know. Okay, so now we've checked to make sure it's not null, and now here we can say c.cell_start equals the whatever, c.cell_length equals the length of c.text. And now this will work with any control on this form. This is a private sub. All right, let's test it. And I like to get rid of my empty spaces here. We don't need that. We don't need that. If you think it makes it more readable, you can leave extra spaces. All right, save it. Now, so far, the only one calling it is credit click, but let's just test it with just credit, okay? Let's just test it. Click. All right, it's working still. So what we've got is still working. We didn't break anything. But now it's generic. Now we should be able to call it from other controls, okay? But we're going to make it an event handler function. All right, an event handler function goes here like this in the property. This way you don't have to have tons and tons of duplicated code in your VBA window. You just put that in whatever property you want it in for the events. If you want to learn more, here's a video. Go watch this. All right, so instead of this, we'll get rid of that. Credit click. Okay, we're going to change this to a function. It has to be a function. All right, and that should change to function here. Why function? I don't know. That's how they did it. Doesn't return it. Normally functions return values, but this guy's not going to return a value. Copy this. Actually, let's copy the whole thing like that. Come over here, and now we're going to select whatever fields we want that function to be in. So I'm going to click on credit, hold the shift key down, balance, pending. I'm not going to bother with these two since we can't change those. Those are just calculated values from somewhere else. And we'll do date. Okay, now in the OnClick event here, put in equals function name, open close parentheses, right? Looks like that. Okay, and that should go in that multiple selection. All right, save it, Control S, close it, open it up, and click, click, look at that, click, click, click. Oh, doesn't work there, doesn't work there. In fact, yeah, those are locked, right? Click, see? Isn't that nice? Okay, now how do we get it over here? This is a different form. We can't use that in all the forms unless we put it in a global module. So come back over here, take this guy, cut it out, snip, right? Go over meow, come down to meow, find a global module. If you don't have one, make one. And put it, I'm going to put it right here after sleep sec. Paste it there. And don't forget to make it public. So I'm going to copy the word public and put it meow. And it's not quite a meow, it's like meow. All right, so now everybody can call this, and it doesn't, you don't need to send it the form name or the field name. It just screen active control works with whatever form you happen to be on. It's a cool little property there. Ooh, what happened? Oh, my DoorDash order has been picked up. Okay. All right, save it. Let's give it a debug compile just to make sure. Once in a while, hit debug compile, checks all the code in your database. And now, let me close this back up here. Are you ready? Slide this over. Oh, we could do the date too over here. So right click, design view, and come here. I'm going to click on you, and on click, and do I got my code in there? Let me see. It's still in there. Oh, I didn't save it in my clipboard. And with select all text, right? Equals select all. Yep, it shows up in the IntelliSense. Good. Text. Open close parentheses. It's a user-defined function. Save it, close it, close it, close it. Start from the beginning. Ready? Open. Click. Oh, look at that. Click, 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 and it's working wonderfully. Beautiful. Now you can use that anywhere you want in your database. Now, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. This is going to be the final part of this series, part 9. The account balances series. I've covered most of what I wanted to cover in the free videos. There will still be an extended cut for this video. We're going to make it so you can check off those cleared transactions instead of deleting them. And this way, the data will still be stored in the table. It just won't show up on the transactions form. If you want to go back, if you're wondering, hey, did I really do that transaction or not? It'll still be in there. It just won't show up here or be in the math. Okay? You know me, I'm not about deleting data if I don't have to. We're going to make some stuff where we auto-close the child form. So if you close the one form, the child form underneath it will close automatically. If you close your account list, the transactions will close. We'll warn if something that you type in is normally supposed to be negative and you type in a positive number, we're going to say, hey, are you sure you meant to do that? Okay. And then we'll fix it. That'll be covered in the extended cut for the members. Then coming up in tomorrow's free tech help video, we're going to be doing an expense tracker that will build into this database. Things that you do on a regular basis, every month, every week, every 2 weeks, every year, right? You pay your electric bill. It's once a month. It's usually about that amount. Your annual Disney pass, right? Okay, that's going to be in tomorrow's video. And I also took all of these lessons, right? The free ones, the member extended cut ones. I added a bunch more stuff to it. And I put together the account balances and recurring expenses template, which has got lots more cool features that aren't even in the extended cuts. And if you want to learn more about that, I put a link down here. You can go there, and I'll tell you more about it there. So check it out. But that is going to be your tech help video for today. Part of the reason why I'm only doing 9 parts instead of keeping going with this is because as time goes on, fewer and fewer people watch the next lesson. It's the same problem I have with my regular classes, right? You might get X number of people that watch beginner level 1, they get the basics and they're good. Slightly fewer people will watch beginner 2, and then so on up the list. So that's why I sell my beginner lessons for only a couple dollars each, and then my developer lessons I have to charge $20, $30, $40 for, because far fewer people watch the developer lessons, and I got bills to pay too. So in order to make it worth my while to produce those, I have to charge more for them. So it's the same thing with these series that I do on YouTube. I'm going for views, and if 1/5 of the people watch part 9 that started watching part 1, well, then I got to go on to the next topic, right? But if you want to learn more about this stuff, check out the extended cuts, check out the template. And if you have any questions or comments, or you want to see more of something, any questions, feel free to post them down below in the comments section. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.